if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter. But my personal...
What makes him so good in your opinion, Mike? Why does he beat everybody in your opinion?
His attitude. You know, he was a little heavy, fat kid and stuff like that, and he wanted to prove himself to the world.
Because I don't think Morrell's going to be able to match Benavidez' volume. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, he's punching constantly on top of you, and he don't get tired.
Fighters have hailed David Benavidez as an immensely powerful force, commending his unyielding pressure, incredible strength, and his knack for methodically dismantling his opponents.
Benavidez is going to win the fight because I think Benavidez is the truth. I think his skill set is underrated. It's rare that a dude that applies that kind of pressure at that size has that level of hand speed.
In the sport, I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think...
Teddy Atlas likens Benavidez's relentless pressure to a buzzsaw, constantly advancing without pause. He emphasizes that Benavidez isn't reckless. Instead, he intelligently sets traps and strategically varies his attacks. His body shots gradually drain his opponents, making it increasingly difficult for them to endure. Atlas views Benavidez as a fighter who combines relentless volume with sharp intellect, leaving his opponents with no escape.
I think the purer puncher probably is Morrell for one shot. He's the less experienced guy, but he's got that Cuban background, you know, with the amateur pedigree, over 100-something fights. He's got experience. Even though he's got a lot less fights professional, he's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez has, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important, but also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba, how, you know, you come from that island that from the beginning when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ. You know, part of it is to escape the communist country, to get to a better life, to get to where you can pursue dreams, to get over here where you can become a world champion. And that is all there. But Benavidez comes from those bloodlines too, where it's all about with him and his father, you know, and his family. It's all about being a champion, staying a champion, being proud, representing yourself in and out of the ring as a champion. The power. Both guys are...
David Benavidez takes great pride in his precision inside the ring, highlighting his knack for landing clean, impactful punches. "I'm the most accurate puncher in boxing," he asserts. His confidence stems from years of honing his craft, establishing him as a dominant force with unparalleled accuracy.
About his sparring partner, what we are talking about is that this Saturday, I'm going to put a beating on David Morrell. And that's how it is.
To you, David, when you imagine the fight, that beating, how does it look? How have you mentally pictured the fight?
I see myself systematically breaking him down. I think I'm just going to overwhelm him with punches. My punches and bunches, it's unlike anybody else in the sport. I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense and on that. So what I've noticed from my previous fights, when I fight great fighters, when I get in there and they don't have success like they had with other fighters, they get a certain look in their eye like, oh shit, like this guy is really good. And I'm expecting the same thing here. But if I do get put in a position where it's a good competitive fight, I'm ready to go to war. This is what I'm here for. You know, nothing is guaranteed. There's no easy fights here. Nothing is guaranteed. But I'm ready to put my heart and soul in the ring, and I'm ready to put it all in the ring and beat David Morrell, whatever it may take.
Morrell, it comes from the Cuban school. A lot of people say like, hey man, this guy is so technically good. This is a difficult style matchup. Like, what do you make of his Cuban style coming into this fight?
No, but honestly, they've said that against everybody I fight, that they're technically...
David Benavidez insists that his rivalry with David Morrell is genuine. "I want to beat him up," he declares, citing Morrell's trash talk as the reason for his animosity. "He's been running his mouth and I won't let it slide. I'll show that I'm the better fighter."
You two, in the lead up to this fight, promoting the fight or what have you, a lot of pomp and circumstance usually comes associated with fights where guys look like they might dislike each other, but ultimately in the end, it's just about the professionalism and it's about marketing the fight. You guys seem to have a disdain for one another. How real is that? And if so, why?
Yeah, this is 100% real. And like I said, I want to go in there and break his face. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. David Morrell, he's been calling me out for the past 2 years. He's been talking a lot of trash. So honestly, it doesn't take much for me to get me started. Him saying he's going to knock me out, this and that. I want a good fight. I want him to be ready. I want him to back all his words up. So at the end of the day, I got to be the Mexican monster. I got to let these people want.
Analysts lean toward David Benavidez in his matchup against David Morrell, highlighting his relentless pressure, power, and stamina. Although Morrell is a skilled fighter, Benavidez's experience and ability to control the pace of the fight make him the clear favorite for a dominant victory.
David Morrell is going to put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcic, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just need more time at 175,
Many argue that Benavidez's ability to physically dominate, particularly against fighters of similar size but superior technical skills, gives him a significant advantage. His relentless pressure, high punch output, and remarkable durability make him a formidable force. Benavidez dictates the pace of the fight, gradually wearing down his opponents. While some may possess better technique, his strength and work rate allow him to overpower them, creating a clear edge. This makes him a dangerous challenge for any fighter.
David Benavidez, American, from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona. Debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13th, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated.
David Morrell and David Benavidez are going to fight.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it, yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid, and he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday, and then I run into him and he's a world champion. That's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing, and yes, I will watch that fight.
Quote, I don't want to fight someone who doesn't mean something for my career. And the best out there now is David Morrell.
I see him coming up to 175. He's talking a lot of shit. So I'm going to shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view if we wait later. His name is not that big, but, I don't...
They just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morrell-Benavidez fight get the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in the ring with him. If you don't overpay him, you won't get him in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going in 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style. Has a fan base in Minnesota. That's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Has a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Christian Mbili. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10, I want to see them in with him.